Hey Yankees fans, welcome to Yankees Rumors and News, your go-to spot for the latest buzz and updates about our team. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss a scoop. The baseball world has been waiting, watching, and debating for weeks. And now the waiting is finally over. Cody Bellinger is coming back to the New York Yankees on a 5-year deal worth $162.5 million. The final top hitter on the free agent market has landed exactly where many expected he would, returning to the city, the stadium, and the lineup that gave him the chance to rebuild his career after a turbulent stretch of seasons. For a franchise that has been searching for consistency and offense, this feels like both a relief and a reminder that the offseason, for all its drama, still circles back to the familiar names and the familiar storylines. When the market began to move slowly, it seemed like a sign that teams were waiting for something to change, some new benchmark, some domino to fall. That would clarify the value of the remaining stars. Then, in rapid succession, the other top bats found new homes, leaving Bellinger as the last marquee free agent still available, the Yankees, whose offseason has been criticized as lackluster by many, had a clear and obvious hole in their lineup after last season's postseason disappointment. Losing Bellinger would have meant not just replacing a bat, but replacing a cornerstone of the team's identity at the plate, and so, after months of speculation, the club decided to bring him back, hoping that the reunion can lead to the kind of October outcome the franchise has been chasing for years. There is something almost cinematic about the trajectory of Bellinger's career. He arrived as a rookie sensation, winning the Rookie of the Year award in 2017, and then, just 2 years later, he reached the peak of individual achievement by capturing the National League Most Valuable Player award in that MVP season. At just 23 years old, he produced a staggering 8.7 WAR and hit 47 home runs, a performance that made him look like a future generational superstar. The baseball world was ready to crown him as the next long-term face of the sport, a player who would dominate for years and redefine what a modern outfielder could be. But the road that followed was anything but smooth. The shortened season in 2020 was disappointing, and then, in 2021, everything seemed to collapse. Over 95 games, he became one of the least valuable players in the league, and the decline was so dramatic that it forced everyone to reassess what they thought they knew about his ceiling. Even when he returned to health in 2022, the struggles continued, and the confidence that once seemed unshakable began to look fragile. The Cubs signed him in 2023, and for a while it looked like he had found a way back. He rebuilt value, regained some of his swing, and reminded the baseball world that the talent was still there. But then, in 2024, he regressed again after signing a 3-year deal with Chicago, leaving many to wonder if the best days were truly behind him. Last offseason, the Cubs essentially moved him to the Yankees in a salary dump deal. And what happened next was one of the more intriguing comebacks in recent memory. Bellinger posted a 4.9 WAR season with 29 home runs and a 125 WRC+, playing alongside Aaron Judge and contributing to a lineup that, on paper, still ranks among the most fearsome in baseball. It was not just that he hit. It was that he did it in New York, under the spotlight, with pressure that would crush many other players. He became a key cog in the Yankees' offense. And even when the postseason ended in disappointment, his presence made it clear that the team had at least one piece worth building around. That is why losing him would have hurt the Yankees more than it might have helped another team. With Bellinger, they have a player who can swing the momentum of a game with one swing, who can cover ground in the outfield, and who has already proven he can produce in the most intense environment in sports. He may be volatile, and his career has been marked by peaks and valleys, but the potential upside is enormous. And the Yankees clearly believe that the best version of Bellinger is still ahead of him. The decision to bring him back is also a statement about the organization's faith in the player's ability to stabilize and deliver. When it matters most, the contract itself is significant, but also strategically structured. 5 years, $162.5 million, with an average annual value of $32.5 million. A signing bonus of $20 million adds immediate security, while opt-outs after the second and third years give Bellinger the chance to test the market again. At age 32, assuming he performs well enough to justify another big payday, the deal also includes a full no-trade clause, which is rare and valuable, and signals that the player wanted control over his future, and the Yankees were willing to give it to him. It is the kind of contract that says the team believes in him, but also wants to avoid the long-term risk that a 6-year commitment would bring. There is a reason the Yankees were hesitant to give him the 6-year deal he reportedly sought. The history is too inconsistent, and the risk of another sharp decline is real. Yet the timing of the market worked in the Yankees' favor once Kyle Tucker and Bo Bichette signed. Shorter-term deals, the leverage for a longer contract evaporated, and the Yankees were able to avoid overcommitting. Still, they did give Bellinger significant leverage with the opt-outs, meaning he can still bet on himself if the next 2 seasons go well. It is a compromise that fits both sides. The Yankees get the player they want, and Bellinger gets the chance to prove that last season was not a fluke, and that he belongs among the game's elite. From a team perspective, the Yankees' offseason has been a curious mix of stability and stagnation. The lineup that was dismantled by a divisional rival in the American League Division Series remains largely intact. Trent Grisham returned by accepting the qualifying offer, and Bellinger has now rejoined the outfield as well. Aside from retaining those key pieces, the only significant addition has been a trade for left-hander Ryan Weathers from the Marlins, a move that carries both upside and risk. Weathers is young and talented, but he has not yet proven he can be a consistent impact pitcher at the major league level. For a team that prides itself on pitching, the return of Jarrett Cole from Tommy John surgery is still the most crucial potential addition, and his health and performance will likely define the season more than any offseason signing. For a franchise like the Yankees, this winter can feel underwhelming. Even when viewed through a lens of logic, they did not add a blockbuster bat. They did not reshape the roster, and they did not make the kind of splash that usually announces a team's intent. But in another sense, the winter has been about preservation. They retained their offensive core, and they kept the identity of the lineup intact. In a league where continuity can be underrated, that matters. The question now is whether the Yankees can turn continuity into progress, and whether Bellinger can be the difference between a team that stumbles in October and a team that finally takes the next step. Looking ahead to the 2026 season, the Yankees will once again enter with high expectations, but also with the familiar uncertainty that surrounds any team built on star power. The outfield, with Aaron Judge, Cody Bellinger, and Trent Grisham, should remain one of the best in baseball, and the lineup still has the potential to be devastating. Yet the pitching staff, beyond the hope of Cole's return, still feels like a question mark. If the Yankees want to avoid another postseason exit that leaves fans frustrated and pundits critical, they may need to be active in the trade market, especially as spring training approaches. This team is not finished yet, and it would not be surprising to see the front office make another move that signals a renewed commitment to winning now. In the end, Bellinger's return is more than just a contract signing. It is a narrative about second chances, about the unpredictable nature of talent, and about the way baseball can both elevate and humble its stars. It is also a reminder that, in New York, nothing is ever truly settled until the first pitch is thrown, and even then, the story continues. For Cody Bellinger, the next chapter begins in pinstripes once again, and for the Yankees, the hope is that this time, the reunion leads to something that lasts beyond the regular season, beyond the headlines, and into the kind of October that defines legacies. If you're enjoying the updates, drop a like and let us know in the comments your thoughts on this rumor. The Bronx is buzzing tonight, and not just with the usual energy that surrounds Yankee Stadium. The rumor mill has exploded with whispers that the New York Yankees might have just received the official okay from Kyle Tucker himself, signaling a willingness to discuss a potential move that could shake the very foundation of the team. Sources, though unnamed, have hinted that this is not a casual inquiry or a polite nudge from a free agent. No, this is the kind of situation that sends front office executives into a flurry, agents pacing in hotel rooms, and fans flipping between hope and anxiety like a switch. The idea of Tucker in pinstripes is already sending shockwaves through social media, sports radio, and every message board that dares to discuss baseball's biggest market. What makes this even more tantalizing is the information that has reportedly leaked about the Yankees' offer. According to insiders, and I stress insiders, the deal being floated is described as aggressive, bold, and in some circles, unprecedented for a player of Tucker's caliber in today's market. Aggressive is a term that gets thrown around a lot in sports journalism, but when you consider the context, the Yankees' payroll, their recent history with marquee acquisitions, and the competitive landscape of Major League Baseball, the word suddenly carries weight. This is not just a high bid. It's a signal that the Yankees are willing to reshape their roster around a talent that could redefine their lineup for years. Fans are imagining Tucker patrolling right field at Yankee Stadium, the roar of the crowd swelling as he launches another long ball over the short porch. The mere speculation has sent ticket resale platforms into a frenzy, with imaginary lineups already being conjured in the minds of devoted supporters, of course. When you talk about aggressive offers, there's always the question of what the Yankees are willing to part with. Sources are murky on specifics, but whispers hint at a combination of top-tier prospects. Perhaps even a minor league package that could make other franchises sit up and take notice. There's talk of pitchers who have yet to make their big league debuts, young bats with high ceilings, and even international signings that the Yankees have been quietly stockpiling. It's a delicate balance, one that requires the Yankees front office to weigh immediate impact against long-term sustainability, and fans are already imagining the potential fallout. Some imagine a blockbuster trade that leaves rival teams reeling, while others fear a scenario where the Yankees mortgage the future for the immediate thrill of a superstar acquisition. Either way, the stakes couldn't be higher, and the tension is palpable. Adding fuel to the speculation fire is the timing of this leak. Baseball, more than most sports, thrives on rumor and intrigue, and the timing of the news, with the regular season quietly rolling along, is almost cinematic. Fans are dissecting every word, every intonation, every cryptic social media post from both the Yankees and Tucker himself. Analysts on television and podcasts are spinning theories about what this means for the division race, the American League standings, and the team's strategic direction for the next several seasons. Some are speculating that Tucker's interest in New York goes beyond baseball, that the allure of the city, the spotlight, and the chance to etch his name in Yankee lore could be decisive factors in any negotiation. Others caution that free agency is never straightforward, that whispers in the wind can shift in the blink of an eye, and that the allure of pinstripes can be complicated by contract terms, playing time, or even the simplest of personal considerations. Imagine, for a moment, the optics if this comes to fruition. Kyle Tucker stepping onto the field in Yankee Stadium, the iconic bleachers behind him, the roar of the Bronx echoing like a tidal wave. Analysts would instantly begin recalculating projections, imagining the ripple effects on lineups, payroll flexibility, and the division's competitive balance. The Yankees have long chased stars, and this would be one of the most high-profile pursuits in recent memory. A statement that could be felt from coast to coast. Social media would explode with highlight reels, speculative graphics, and endless debate over the fairness of the trade. Fans would craft imaginary lineups with Tucker at the heart, and rival teams would undoubtedly be scrambling to counteract a move that could tip the balance of power in the American League East. Yet, with all the excitement comes caution. The term official okay can mean many things in the murky world of sports negotiations. It doesn't necessarily guarantee a deal. It simply suggests that Tucker's camp is open to serious discussion. The devil, as always, is in the details. The length of the contract, guaranteed money, opt-out clauses, no trade provisions, and performance incentives can all dramatically alter the attractiveness of any offer. There's also the human element. Tucker is not just a player. He is a person with priorities, aspiration, and a career path that he is carefully navigating. The Yankees front office must thread the needle, balancing the desire to make a splash with the reality of what is feasible, sustainable, and wise for the organization long-term. Rumors like these always come with a disclaimer: nothing is certain until signatures are on the dotted line. Yet the imagination of fans and the media alike has already taken flight. If the Yankees do succeed in signing Tucker, the ramifications extend beyond just the team. The ripple effect through Major League Baseball would be enormous. Other teams would be forced to reassess their strategies, both in free agency and in trade negotiations. Competitors in the division would need to consider how to counter a potential new powerhouse. In the Bronx, media narratives would dominate headlines for weeks, dissecting every angle, every stat, every potential matchup. The Yankees, already a team with a storied history, would once again be making a statement to the league. We are willing to spend. We are willing to chase talent. And we are willing to do whatever it takes to remain at the pinnacle of the sport. Rumors of this magnitude have a way of shifting the conversation entirely, and whether or not it ends in a finalized deal, the speculation alone has already captured the imagination of baseball fans everywhere. And then there's the cultural factor. Kyle Tucker joining the Yankees is not just a sports story. It's a narrative that transcends the diamond. In New York, sports are intertwined with identity, passion, and the relentless media spotlight, the pressure of the city, the expectations of the fans, and the historical weight of the franchise could either elevate Tucker to superstar status or test him in ways few other markets could. Every at-bat, every play in the outfield, and every moment on the field would be scrutinized, celebrated, and debated endlessly. Analysts would compare him to past Yankee legends, while social media would dissect every statistic, trend, and highlight reel with almost obsessive precision. The rumor alone is already shaping expectations. And in a city like New York, expectations have a way of becoming reality, for better or worse. Of course, skeptics abound. Some insist that leaks like this are part of a larger strategy, a trial balloon meant to gauge public reaction and perhaps even pressure rival teams into action. Others argue that the Yankees have historically been aggressive in pursuit of talent, and that a move like this, while shocking, is entirely consistent with the franchise's approach to building competitive rosters. Regardless of which side one takes, the speculation is electric. And the story is far from over. Baseball, in its quiet yet relentless way, continues to surprise, excite, and confound, and the notion of Kyle Tucker in pinstripes has become the talk of the town, the rumor that refuses to die down. In conclusion, the scenario unfolding in the Bronx is the kind of drama that baseball thrives on. The Yankees appear poised to make a bold move, one that could reverberate throughout the league, excite fans to the point of frenzy, and set the stage for what might be one of the most memorable transactions in recent history. The leak of an aggressive offer, combined with Tucker's openness to dialogue, has created a perfect storm of anticipation, speculation, and pure sports drama. Whether it materializes or not, the story itself has already entered the realm of legend, and fans, analysts, and casual observers alike will be watching every twist and turn with rapt attention. The Yankees may be on the brink of something monumental, and for now, the only thing certain is uncertainty, a delicious, thrilling uncertainty that keeps the heart of baseball beating stronger than ever. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you stay up to date with every Yankees rumor and news. See you in the next video.